This is the human heart. Central to our physical body, our survival, revered by poets throughout history as the emotional center of our being. The place we instinctively touch when asked to point to ourselves. And now, what we have known intuitively is being understood scientifically. Researchers are unlocking a new science of the heart that could change everything we know about health and our interconnected nature. Coherence is a state of balance between heart, mind, and emotions, creating a favorable cascade of neural, hormonal, and biochemical events that benefit the entire body. But this phenomenon not only benefits us personally, it affects everything around us, emitting an electromagnetic field that can be measured up to 3 feet outside of the body. When you are in coherence, your heart resonates at the same frequency as the Earth's magnetic field. This frequency positively affects everything around you. When a group of people are in coherence together, this effect is magnified. Could communities synchronized in coherence lower violence, accelerate cooperation, and global harmony? This is the purpose of the Global Coherence Pulse. If we can measure the impact of thousands of people in coherence at the same time, it could lead to a breakthrough in understanding the full potential of the human heart. All you need to participate is your presence and your heart. To take it to the next level, join the research study by downloading the app and getting an HRV monitor to measure your personal coherence. The world needs it more than ever before. Each human heart is unique and magnificent by itself. But imagine what could be possible when we unify.
Welcome everyone to our Global Coherence Pulse for October 2022. I can't believe it's already October of this year. What a potent and powerful and emergent year it's been so far, at least for me. And you might notice that today we're not on our regular webinar line, but we're on a meeting line. And one of the reasons for that is I just really wanted to say thank you to the community that continues to show up in these monthly coherence pulses, even if this is your first one, taking time out of our day to cultivate greater coherence in the heart of our lives. And by coming together in community, extending that energy into pulsing the field with more love and more joy and more care and more presence. It's really a beautiful community that's growing around the pulse. And more, almost every meeting that I'm in, whether it's my own team or other opportunities that I have, we're all starting with a practice of coherence. We're all starting to realize how essential it is that what we feed the field matters, that the quality of our presence makes a difference. So thank you for coming. And if you're willing, turn on your camera today, so that we can see each other, so that we can see each other's smiles, so that we can really be present together as we explore our theme today, which is, this is what joy feels like. And joining me today is Reverend Paulette Pipe, and Kaylin can bring Paulette on, and also Theo Grace. So excited that the three of us get to be in this community setting today. We really wanted to have this be like a family hangout, which we could talk about something as important as cultivating greater joy on the planet, to uplift our love and to uplift our action and to give us the energy we need to navigate through the challenges and all of the things life brings us. So, Reverend Paulette Pipe, one of my favorite models of coherence in action. Paulette, every time I see you on a call, on one of your offerings on Insight Timer, on an EL meeting, and you've been like the heart keeper, somebody that actually your presence calls us into greater stillness. And of course, touching the stillness ministries is your work. And I've learned something deep from you. I've found a deeper level of my own stillness from your modeling. So I'm so excited we get to have this conversation today, Paulette. Yeah, welcome. And Theo Grace, he is a singer-songwriter and a composer, a musician. He's a dad, he's a husband, and he's really part of my own intimate family. I've kind of adopted him and his wife and his son as my extended family because I don't have my own children, but they feel like they're my children, part of my deep family. Theo also is the music behind a lot of the Gene Keys work. So some of you might be excited about the Gene Keys and, Theo's energy and frequency and transmission of his heart is seeded throughout much of those meditations and offerings. So Theo, welcome to you too. And I'm really excited that we all get to 3B together. It feels like a nice family feeling. And so to start, I want to do what I do in every one of our meetings or every one of our gatherings is that we just take a moment to actually get present together. So let's feel the bottom of our feet, which naturally takes us out of our mind and connects us to our mother planet that we're all standing on, all in the different places that we're standing from. And bring our awareness to our heart center. And feel your breath moving in and out of this one point, the center of your heart. Just those few things like bringing our awareness to our feet and bringing our attention to our heart and to our breath brings us into the present moment so naturally. And then into the field, bring your awareness to someone or something that the moment that you bring it into your awareness, it brings a smile on your face. Like it just like naturally lifts up the corners of your mouth, whatever it is. And let that feeling that generates to move through your body. And radiate out from your heart into the field of this community that's gathered here right now. Those listening to the recording right now. And just know as we do this that the field that we're creating together with all of these feelings can uplift us even more. And we'll keep building this field together throughout this session, and towards the end of our meditation, we'll pulse this energy, whatever it is that we've cultivated together on this call, we'll send it out throughout the planet. So for right now, allow whatever comes up to feed your own soul and radiate it into the field of the community sharing this space together today. So we're going to start with a song from Theo, just to allow us just to keep being present together in community. And then we're going to go into a dialogue about cultivating joy, bringing more joy into our lives. And then we'll do a deep dive meditation, come back with more music, and then have a chance for just some reflections. So thank you again for taking time out of your day to be present and to cultivate greater coherence and joy for yourself and for the whole of life. So Theo, let's go to you first.
Thank you, T. Thanks for having me on. And thank you everyone for joining, wherever you are in the world, wherever you are vibrationally and in your life. I just wanted to open things up with a little vulnerable share and say that I'm coming on this call that's all about joy and coherence. And I've had a bit of a crunchy day. I've had a bit of a crunchy morning. And of course, the medicine is always exactly what we need for the moment, for what we're each growing through. And so much of learning for my journey has been how to be in joy, is learning how do I deal with my own incoherence? How do I deal with when my heart closes? What do I do then? What do I do when I fall into those spaces, when my negative automatic thought patterns bring me into a crunchy space and I'm struggling? And so much of that is one about being with it, learning to be with it, be okay with it, allow the sensations in my body, but then also to bring that active peace. So there's a surrender, but then there's also an active peace, and there's a Thich Nhat Hanh meditation where you just bring a smile to your face. You actually use your power to choose, not to bypass how you're feeling, but your power to choose to bring a smile to your face, because that actually affects our biochemistry when we choose to smile. And sometimes it can feel a little inauthentic or, not right for a bit, but it's like working out. It's that's how I relate to it. It's lifting that weight doesn't always feel good, but it does shift my state. And it's something I can do. It's a little thing I can do to bring me closer to my natural state of joy, to remind myself that I can choose to be happy even when I'm experiencing crunchy moments and circumstances and my kid is freaking out and nothing's going right. So I'm going to stop talking and invite us into our breath and to breathe into our heart. And this song, if you want to sing along, you might catch on. I'm just going to throw the lyrics up in the chat. We're going to sing this through 3 times, and you're welcome to join in your own space and just sing this prayer of opening our heart, because that, with an open heart, that's when we're in that state of joy and peace. And the heart is a mystery. It sometimes has its own timing in its own way, but we can certainly pray and sing. So here it is. brings me to my knees. When the walls get too heavy to hold, will you remind me to love a little more? Oh, oh, love a little more. Oh, oh, love a little more. Open my heart. Open my heart and light the way. Deep in the dark, open my heart. Oh, open my heart and melt away the hardest part. And when I can't go on and life brings me to my knees, when the walls get too heavy to hold, will you remind me to love a little more? Oh, oh, love a little more. Oh, oh, love a little more. Love a little more. Love a little more. So wherever you're at, just love a little more. Love yourself, love where you're at, love the difficult people in your life, and yeah, keep breathing into the heart. Thank you.
Theo, that was such the perfect song for the seeding of this conversation with Paulette, and even just your energy this morning. Like when we came together to decide what the theme would be for this pulse, it arose out of a kind of a tragic story and a sad story, which I think that's what we're talking about, is like, how do we be in this life that's feeding us so many challenges right now? And how do we find ways to fuel the energy of our love and our care so that we can be inspired to love a little more, to extend more forgiveness, to choose to make this smile be how we feed ourselves. So thank you. Thank you for like really bringing us all right to that place, because we're not just here to talk about joy and to feel joy. We're here to say, how do we come from here, where we are right now, wherever we are in our lives, and how do we begin to uplift ourselves and each other through this potent and precarious and precious moment. Thank you for that. Thank you. Always.
Thank you.
It's always perfect. So Paulette, we came to this story in a really sweet way. And I wondered if you want to share a little bit about your choosing joy, your choosing, no matter whether you had time or money or whatever, to do something for yourself every month that curled up the sides of your lips and brought more joy and presence into your life. I love you, Paulette. Thank you for being here with me.
Thank you, Teresa. And hello, everyone. Welcome to the space. So, two impactful things happened losing two siblings. The first one was in 1991 when my big brother died suddenly, but it led me to my path as an ordained minister and a meditation and mindfulness teacher. And then the second was last year when my big sister Joy died suddenly. I know I've got a smile on my face while I'm saying it. It's just because I'm remembering her and the beauty of her life. But anyway, she died suddenly, and it was last March, rocked my world. And I was also, it was during the pandemic, right? So I live in the States. My sister was living in England, and I couldn't get to her. I couldn't be there with my family. I couldn't hug on my family's neck and we all cried together. We were in different places. My mother is and was at the time in the Caribbean and couldn't travel there either. So it was really, really, really hard. And then on top of that, as an ordained minister, I was the one officiating her ceremony online. Oh my God, it was the hardest thing I ever did. And I was already isolated from the pandemic, no human contact. It was just, oh, I didn't even know what to do with myself. Anyway, fast forward as I go through my grieving process. And something I also want to share about Joy is that she was really hardworking and had always been diligent about paying into her little pension fund and basically putting her life on hold until she could retire. The reason she was in England in the first place was because she'd left the Caribbean where she'd already gone back and had set up home. But she went back to England just to top up her pension and make sure that she could live some kind of life after retirement, because she'd had such a hard life working madly. And unfortunately, she died in March, which was just a few months after her retirement. So she did get to retire, but she didn't get to live any life. Like I said, she'd been working hard her whole life. She was a great mother and wife and had different jobs in England, but it just seemed like her life was just tough and always revolving around her family and work. So that broke my heart that she'd been putting aside, for a rainy day, as we're guided to in society. And she did everything right that way and didn't live to enjoy it. So then in February of this year, I turned 60, and back in January, I decided that I'm not going out like that. I, unlike Joy, didn't do it right and don't have a pension set aside and don't have, everything set up for me for when I retire. But yet I too was working around the clock. I am in sacred service and I am giving and sharing with humanity, but it was taking everything out of me to do that. Especially in the field that I'm in, as someone who leads and guides meditation, I kept hearing that people don't really want to contribute to that or pay for that. That's something that should come free. So here I was doing all these wonderful and leading all these wonderful experiences and supporting different organizations and showing up to lead and guide meditations. And then during the pandemic, it was, oh, could you do this for us? And could you do that for us? And could you do a meditation here? And could you record a meditation over here? And yes, I can, but it doesn't take, just because the recording's 5 minutes doesn't mean it took 5 minutes to do. So I ran myself ragged during the year and a half up until Joy's death. Well, almost the 2 years we were in the pandemic, really, trying to say yes to all of those things. So by January of this year, I was burnt to a crisp in the midst of my grief, because I still haven't connected with my family by this time. And I just thought, I'm not going out like that. So I devised this plan. I laugh now because it was pretty crazy. But I devised this plan to engage in what I called sweet intentions, where every month from February this year until next February of my next birthday, I will engage in a trip, a treat, or a thrilling adventure. Okay. How are you going to do that when you don't have the income coming in and you don't have, you know, the resources? Well, I had a fund that I was saving up for an emergency situation in my life at the time, and I decided I'm not waiting because look how Joy went out. That's my sister's name, Joy. So yeah, I engaged on this journey, and every month I engaged in a trip, a treat, or a thrilling adventure. And at the time, I was thinking, you know, treats could be something like treating myself to some good quality chocolate, or sending myself some flowers. But it's like once I put it out there that that's what I wanted to do, the universe took it and ran with it, and it's been up until this month an amazing journey that started with me doing indoor skydiving the day before my 60th birthday to kick it all off. And then I had on my bucket list that I wanted to. Oh no, back up, back up. Then I went to Florida and I went parasailing in Florida with a dear friend of mine. I'd never been parasailing before, never been skydiving before. But what I had done in January was put this wish list together. If money were no object, what would I do with my life in this 1 year? And so I had this laundry list of things that I would love to do. And parasailing was on there, but I didn't even know what it was. And here I was in Florida parasailing. One of my bucket list items was to go to New York and have afternoon tea at the Plaza Hotel. And as soon as I spoke the word, one of my dear friends in England said, "Yeah, do it. Do you want me to come?" And she came over from England and we spent a week in New York that included tea at the Plaza. Um, I went to I went to England eventually in May, and that was just to be with my family, I thought. But one of the things on my list was to learn how to make chocolate. Dark chocolate is my favorite. And so I told my bestie that this is one of the things I wanted to do. So we were online together while we were on one of our regular 4 hour calls. And we were both Googling and looking for places that we could make chocolate. And in doing so, came across this website called the Virgin Experience. And it's a bit like Groupon. So it had all these different things that you could do. So out of that, I cultivated this list of things to do while I was in England for 2 months that I could do with different family members and different friends. And I spent 2 months in England having the time of my life, including climbing the roof of the O2 Arena in southeast London. It's a covered arena, obviously, and it poured with rain the day that I did that. I took some of my nieces and nephews to this place. It's like an escape room, but it's not. It's like the Crystal Maze, and it's not. But you do all these different things in the room using your five senses in this dark room, and you're smelling things and tasting things and touching things, and it's like very scary and creepy. And trying to find things in a ball, in the ball pit. I mean, it was such fun. I also went to tea again because I'm a Brit, right? So afternoon tea was one of the ways we celebrated birthdays when I was a young adult. So I went to what was new to me, the Shard Hotel. Well, it's the Shard building that has the Shangri-La Hotel in it. And I went there for afternoon tea, which was very posh and very lovely. And what else did I do? I mean, I just did an amazing things. And then I came back. After that, I came back, and August, I've exhausted myself because I've been doing all these things every day. I went to Cork, I went to Dublin. As I said, just doing lots of different things in England. And when I came back, I was a little exhausted and I wasn't sure what my trip, treat, or thrilling adventure would be. And I received two beautiful pieces from two different people, two beautiful pieces of jewelry. So that was my treat. And then September, I decided I've lived in Kansas City for 16 years and I don't go anywhere because I'm always working or before the pandemic traveling. that I decided that I'd do a mini version of what I did in England, and I went on different tours. Like, did you know that Kansas City has over 240 fountains, second only to Rome, working fountains? So I did a fountain tour, and what else? Oh, I went to the lake with some friends. And so I've just been in my joy. And what Teresa was saying at the beginning was, if I had stopped to calculate how am I going to do this, I mean, I did have a plan. I did mastermind the plan of what I was going to do when in England. I had a whole book full. But if it was like, let me wait, like my sister did, until I have the resources in place and let me save up for it, I wouldn't be doing it, and my heart would still be bursting with pain. But I got to be with my family. I got to do all these great things. I have something to look forward to. I got out of the house, and the world is going crazy and falling down around me, it seems, all of us. But here I am evoking this joy. So let me back up a bit, because one of the things I want to share with you is, as I said, I was honored but also very saddened to officiate my sister's wedding. And so I don't mean wedding, funeral. It's my brother's wedding I did. Anyway, so I'm doing this funeral, and I'm a mess days before, just days after she died, actually. I'm this mess, and I'm bawling my eyes out. I'm in bed, bawling my eyes out. I can't believe my sister's died. I can't believe I can't get to her. And I looked up and I saw something that just changed everything for me. This is even before I decided to do the sweet intentions. So, to put it in context, I have been doing these mandala vision boards. So they're like vision boards, but they're shaped in a mandala. And it's one of the things I teach and lead. But in the last few years, I've been doing this sort of sacred experience of mandalas. And they're not about trying to get the car or the house or the good job or the partner. It's not like that. It's about evolving my soul and my spirit and how I want to be on the planet. And I have two of them, one in the office and one in my bedroom, which is also my sanctuary, that really evoke the sense of breathing into a space of joy. Anyway, right before Joy died, maybe a couple of weeks, I found this image of a huge butterfly, and I cut it out, and I decided I was going to just stick it on my mandala in my office, which, as I said, is just about this opening up the breathing space and the space to enjoy and serve and be in bliss in the world as I'm in service. So I stuck it on there. And then I was in my office one day and I looked at this butterfly and I thought, no, you don't need to be in here. Come with me. So I'm talking to the cutout image. So I take the butterfly off the mandala in my office and I take it into the one on my bedroom, and I just slap it on there with a magnet. I wasn't even, and if you knew me, you would know I'm very meticulous about how I do things. I'm very sort of intuitively guided on where things go and what things look like and putting things together. But that one, I just like, no, you're coming with me. And I just stuck the butterfly on the mandala. So here I am in bed, bawling my eyes out a couple of days after Joy died. And I look up, and through my tear-stained face, I see where I put the butterfly. And on the mandala, I have all these different sayings, and one of them is, I am a vibration of joy. And that's where I had stuck the butterfly. And this is my sister Joy when she was younger in the dress, and then right above my picture is one of our trips on a recent visit to England, where we went to see the Olympic Park, which was built while I was away. So I am a vibration of joy, and it was as if my sister Joy was telling me, I've gone back to my true essence. It's not just my name as it was on the planet. I've gone back into the vibration of joy that I am. It's our true essence. It's who we all are. She's not saying this to me verbally. It's just that I'm looking at this butterfly on this image, and that's what I'm intuiting is the case, not just for Joy, but for all of us. And I was able to share that at her funeral to help to support my family and all of her friends and loved ones who'd shown up for her. So the idea is today to remind all of us that we are a vibration of joy. And yes, I was living it in this outward expression, doing things that I never imagined I would do. But she's the catalyst, and I've also dedicated it to her because she didn't get to live that kind of life when she was here. And I'm doing it on her behalf. That's my excuse. But it's also to keep remembering that we can summon up the joy. So I did all these outward things, but it doesn't have to be anything like that. Just as Theo said, it could just be smiling at another person. It might be the smile that saves their life. We don't know where people are at. And as we turn on the news and we watch what's going on in the world and in our news feeds and online streams, we can become disheartened and think, there's no room for joy. But like this message that came from the beyond the veil, we each are a vibration of joy, and we can cultivate that joy. We can reignite that joy that is naturally and innate with us. And as Iyanla Vanzant says in her book, One Day My Soul Just Opened Up, joy and happiness are not the same thing. Joy is something inward in us, innate in us, whereas happiness depends on something outside of us happening or not happening, and then we feel happy or we don't. But that joy is always there, and we do things to evoke it. And one of the greatest things we could do is to find that place in stillness where we can use our heart center to breathe into that place, to become coherent with that idea, with that expression, with that vibration, with that energy that is joy within us. And then I just want to give you some context for how we came up with today's theme. You may notice that when I'm talking about my sweet intentions or about cultivating joy, I do get a bit animated. So I was at a conference recently and I was talking to some friends, and Karen Drucker was there. We played her song just before we started, one of her many songs. And I was sharing at the lunch table with her and some other musicians and some friends some of the things I'd been doing on my sweet intentions, and how I never always knew where the money was going to come from. So I'd book something in anticipation that I'd be able to pay for it when the money was due, and all these different things that would happen miraculously to propel me on my journey forward in this expression of change. And Karen Drucker took a breath and she looked at me and she went, "Now that's what joy looks like." At this stage, she didn't even know that that was my sister's name. And as you will see, there is a resemblance. We do actually look alike a little bit, but that's what joy looks like. But here, as we come together today, it's not just about what joy looks like, it's about what joy feels like. And so it's an invitation to each of us to go to our heart and determine how we're going to cultivate and express that joy in the world, regardless of what's going on in the world, in our communities, in our own lives. And I said to Teresa as we were getting ready, isn't it ironic? Well, she didn't know this, it was right, ironic, but I was explaining that it was ironic that as we're coming here together today to talk about what joy feels like, what joy looks like, I find myself in this week where my cart toppled over, if you will. My sweet intentions cart toppled over, and I wasn't really feeling joy. But then I had to remind myself, I was feeling joy, I may not have been feeling happy, and there's a difference. And so just being here with you and going back into my heart every morning, every evening, every opportunity, there'll be songs coming to my head to remind me of the truth, to take me back into my heart. I keep cultivating and remembering my joy. And that's what we're going to be focusing on today, is how to cultivate that joy in meditation and share it and express it in the meditation, but then when we go back out in the world.
That was so good. I just have to add one thing to our story. When we were talking, two things. One is that once we decided on the theme, all of a sudden you had a monarch butterfly fly across the garden, right in front of you, right as we sealed it up. And then I got her mandala and I got these beautiful pictures and I put them together. And I was looking for some images that would be like the mandala and the butterfly. And I finally just searched on joy plus butterfly. And the image that is part of the slide, if you shift over to that one, it looks like joy. It looks like Paulette with this woman with a joy on her face and a butterfly on her finger. Like life is saying, yes, it is actually our natural state. And when we open to it from the inside out, not wait for something external, but from the inside out, we get these miracles and these synchronicities and these opportunities to reflect back. Yes. So I loved that. It was amazing. It was magical the whole way.
It was. And that butterfly that came across as we sealed the idea of what we were going to do, it was so big it looked like a leaf. And I was saying to Teresa, I don't know if it's a leaf, I don't know if it's a butterfly, but it's still moving, it's got wings. So it's not a leaf, but it was so big, like almost like the size of the one that I saw that I've added to my mandala. I mean, not that big, but it was bigger than the normal little monarch that you see. So anyway, joy.
Yay, beautiful. So we're gonna just like let this seep in a little bit, and maybe you have your own stories. And like Theo said this morning, just showing up and just choosing it, and just letting that smile and letting it bring up whatever's deep. So we're gonna start with some music. When Theo's finished, Paulette is going to guide us in a very profound meditation. And then Theo will bring us out of that meditation with some more music. So let's just keep circulating whatever feelings are coming up for you through your body and into the space around you and into this field that we share together. So Theo.
Okay, so this song is just, it's about being present with what is, which really is the practice that never gets old. Just keep coming back to it. I am not the clouds, I am the sky. I am not the mind, I am the I. Here in a sacred song of a universe alive. Can't hold on to anything passing away. I am here experiencing living today. High highs, low lows, and me in the middle watching it go. Here comes a fear, oh no, watch it go. Feelings and thoughts, I watch them go. See it all and watch it go. Oh, 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 oh. I am not the memories, I am the one. Circling for centuries around the sun. Burning up everything, all that needs to be released, expanding beyond the edges of my mind. Stories and seasons, reasons and rhymes, open me up to find it's always been me in the middle, watching it go. Here comes a fear, oh no, watch it go. Feelings and thoughts, I watch them go. See it all and watch it go. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. And the secret is to see it, to feel it, and receive it. Yeah, the secret is to see it, to feel it, and receive it. Oh, the secret is to see it, oh, to feel it, and receive it. Oh yeah, the secret is to see it, to feel it, and release it. 'Cause underneath this pain inside is the sweetness of life. Oh, oh, underneath this fear of mine is the sweetness of life. Oh, 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 the sweetness of life. Oh, 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 the sweetness of a butterfly. Oh, 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 the sweetness of life. Yeah, yeah. The sweetness of life.
Thank you, Theo. So let's begin our meditation today, which is going to be a mudita type meditation. So mudita is cultivating joy. It's a Pali word for cultivating joy. And it's very similar to how we practice metta meditation or loving kindness meditation. So first of all, make any micro adjustments that you need to make so that you can be fully relaxed in this moment. Return your attention to your heart space at the center of your chest at heart level. And imagine that you're breathing in and breathing out through your heart space. Breathing in the sweetness of life, the joy of life, and exhaling anything unlike joy. Allow every part of your body to relax, starting at the crown of your head, all the way down your left side to the base of your feet, all the way down your right side to the base of your right foot, all the way down the back of your head, your neck, your spine, the back of the torso, your seat, the back of your legs, your heels. And let this relaxation flow now from the crown of your head through your forehead, your face, even your eyelids, your cheekbones, chin, your neck. Let your chest soften and relax, your torso, solar plexus, stomach and tummy, and all the internal organs, your pelvis, life center, thighs, knees, shins, the top of your feet and your toes. Is there anywhere else in your body that you can release, soften, and let go? Exhale your next breath to that place now. And as your face softens and relaxes, bring back that smile. Let the corners of your mouth upturn, which sends a signal of relaxation to your body as well. And we're going to use our breath to journey to that place of stillness within, where joy resides, where joy is innate and is independent of whatever makes us feel happy. For happiness is outside of us, something we respond to that's outside of us. And we're cultivating joy even in the face of seeming challenge or misery. And even as you hear me say those words, if your body tenses up again, just breathe and relax. And if at any point through our journey you find yourself tense or sleepy, your mind wanders and you're daydreaming, or you become distracted by sound or sensation, just use the breath to come back. Let that smile come back to your face. Check back in with your heart. And for you today, that might just be the practice, time and time again, coming back to the breath, back to the smile, back to our heart. And so now bring to mind a time in your life when you expressed joy. It might be sometime today, but you might be reaching back decades. And just tap into that energy and that vibration of what it felt like, what it feels like. And let that vibration of joy course through your whole being now. It might be like a tingling feeling, it might be like heat. Let that vibration of joy and love fill you up, brim to the top, and spill over. And if you can't reach it, imagine what it could be like if you could touch joy in this moment. What would joy feel like? And now silently affirm, may I be joyful. May my expression of joy increase. May I never be separated from expressions of great joy. And may all the opportunities to tap into joy and express joy increase. And with it, the miracles and the good fortune, the benefits, blessings, and advantages that flow from a freed up space expressing joy. And now bring to mind those in your inner circle who may not be expressing joy at their fullest right now for whatever reason. But maybe because they're in your inner circle, you know or can remember a time when they were expressing joy fully. Bring that to mind as best as you're able. And if you can't bring an experience to mind, imagine. We have such powerful imaginations. So imagine how your loved ones would show up when they were feeling that full expression of joy. And know that with and for them now. As you breathe in and breathe out and radiate that vibration of joy that's flowing from within you. See their faces aglow. See that smile curl on their faces. Feel that vibration of joy emanating from their heart. And we affirm for them, may you be joyful. May your joy ever increase. May you never be separated from those expressions of joy and delight that is innate within you. And may the causes and triggers that bring your joy into full expression multiply, never cease. And may the miracles and the majesty and the delight that comes into manifestation from that place of joy when you are in the flow and fully vibrating at heart level with every expression of joy. May that be your fulfillment today and every day. Allow your next breath to submerge you more deeply into the stillness so you can drop more from head to heart. Don't intellectualize or analyze what joy must look like for your loved one. Just know that joy is within them. They are within joy, And we are radiating vibrations of joy here together. Now bring to mind your acquaintances, co-workers, neighbors, service providers, and hold on to that vibration of joy that you are right now emanating, and affirm for them, may you be joyful. May your expressions of joy ever increase. May you never feel separated from those expressions of joy. And may the majesty, the magic, the miracles and the serendipity that flows from that vibration of joy fill your life, your consciousness, your environment now. Now bring to mind those people, situations and organizations with whom you feel some challenge. Maybe you disagree, don't see things the same way. Maybe they get on your last nerve. Maybe you feel impatient with them. Return your attention to your heart as you think of them. And before we move into our metta expression, our mudita expression, let's express metta for these who come to mind right now. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may joy be your expression. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be filled with expressions of joy. Take a breath and exhale slowly all the air. And from this place of peace, love, compassion, and kindness, we affirm for those we have brought to mind. May you be joyful. May your expressions of joy ever increase. May you never be separated from those expressions of joy. And may the miracles and the delight that freely flows from the field of joy, the vibration of joy, ever increase, be ever conscious, be ever transformative. return your attention to your heart. Breathe in joy through your heart. Exhale joy through your heart. As we now move our attention to those places on the planet experiencing war and turmoil and drought and famine, those places that are impacted by climate change and the people, the habitation, the vegetation, the animals, the birds of the sky and the creatures of the ocean who are impacted in return. And you may feel your body tense as you bring those people and places to mind. So take another deep breath in and fully exhale out. Let that smile return to your face, to soften your face. Because whereas happiness is about hoping something changes, joy is about knowing it is possible. Joy is about knowing that we can align with the transformative power of love, the beauty of love, the peace of love. So we find our place in coherence now with that expression of joy. And so what I invite you to do now, as you think of those people and places on the planet impacted by war, famine, drought, change, is to breathe into your heart the imagined pain, discomfort, squalor, destruction, seeming like there's no resolution. Breathe it into your heart till you can take in no more breath. And let that breath circulate in your heart space. And exhale love fully and completely from your heart space to that region, to that area on the planet, to that continent, to those people, places, and conditions that might even be on your doorstep. Taking another Tonglen breath, breathing in through your heart. Let that love circulate around your heart, that pain that you feel, that empathy, that fear, that resistance. Let it all move into your heart space that knows only love. It is the abode of love. And then exhale slowly and completely, transferring that love to that place on the vibration of love, on the vibration of joy. So transformation can take place, and we are in alignment wherever we are, standing in proxy for those who cannot be here, who cannot stand for themselves at this time. Let go of pity, let go of judgment, let go of blame, and breathe in through your heart once more. Hold that breath in your heart space and let it be filled with healing love, vibrational joy, compassion and peace. And as you exhale, imagine that breath flowing around the globe, around the planet. And now we affirm, may you be joyful. May those expressions of joy that uplift you, your situation, and the planet ever increase. Regardless of outer appearance, may you never feel separated from those triggers of joy, from that which reminds you of your innate joy. May you find joy in those small moments and those small interactions to remind you of your divine truth and your divine birthright and the divine joy vibrating in and through you now. And may the miracles and the majesty and the transformation that flows from the space of joy ever increase, ever be expressed, and support you in changing your fortunes, your experience, your conditions, transforming and transmuting them to their spiritual equivalent. So you may experience safety, you may experience peace, you may experience health, wholeness and well-being, so you may experience restoration, so you may experience divine love in action right here and right now. And so we choose to trust and breathe, knowing that this intention and these words of affirmation and this vibration of joy does not go void, but flows right now where it is needed, where it has been sent, where it has been called forth. And so we take a breath and rest in stillness, trusting the process, vibing with joy, expressing joy, and knowing that what we send out comes back multiplied as we breathe and rest in the stillness of the vibration of joy and silence. united in our holy, joyful purpose, vibrating with the energy of joy, we bring our attention slowly back to this time and place. Aware again of the sounds around us. Aware again of the feel of the air on our skin, the clothing on our back, the seat beneath us, the coherence linking us, heart to heart, wherever we are on the planet, pulsing, pulsing, pulsing with joy and love that radiates and expresses from us wherever we find ourselves outside of this meditation experience. Take another deep breath in. Exhale all the air out. And then bring your hands to prayer position, resting your thumbs on your sternum. And take another deep breath here. May we be joyful. May our expressions of joy ever increase. May we vibrate joy wherever we are. And may the joy and delight flowing innately from us transform and transmute our experiences and conditions into their spiritual equivalent of love, compassion, kindness, peace, and joy. From that space of joy in me to that space of joy in you and all those to whom we dedicate this practice, I now bow. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste. Let's really allow this natural feeling of peace and love and joy to fill our hearts and overflow into this community. I have brought some of you on camera. I know it was a surprise when you came out of your prayer, but these are faces that have been with us often, whose presence you can really feel in the field. And I just wanted to take you in, and I wanted to feel the community today, since we're on a meeting line. Really just extend this energy into the whole group. Know that we're held all the time by this field, by each other. And when we need it most, we can call on it. We can just call on it and draw it to us. Let that smile come on our face, remembering that we're held, especially when we need it most. Yeah. So let's stay with that while Theo brings us into a song as we come to the close. Thank you, Paulette.
Wow. Thank you so much for that, Paulette. I really feel the frequency similarity. They're like harmonic between peace and joy in that. It's like in that deep peace, this like that natural joy, like flowers up and out of that state. Oh, wow. Well, I'm going to take it up a little bit I had this special song planned. So we're going to kind of blast off from this flower like a little happy butterfly into the sky. And this song came from a teaching that I was doing a meditation about, and the affirmation was, all I need is within me. And I was really challenged by that, because sometimes we fall into victim patterns where I don't feel like I'm at choice. I don't feel like I can choose joy because, my child or my wife or these people in my life are making me feel things. And so this affirmation that everything I need is within me really kind of flipped that upside down, and it put the power and the choice back in my court, that I can choose this. Like, I can choose to sit and go through my frustration and my pain into that peace. It takes work and it takes practice, but that seems to be a big piece of joy, is knowing that we are creators, knowing that we have more choice than maybe we think in a given moment. And sometimes it's hard, but this song came out of my work and my practice of choosing not to be a victim to my circumstances and to the people around me. And it's really just about grabbing that torch and affirming that, I can do this, I can cultivate this, and I have the power and the choice to do so. So here we go. It's got a little backtrack that I'm going to sing along to, and I hope you enjoy it. When I'm lost and alone, don't know where to go, looking out for the way in, and I need a reminder on the winding road. I listen for the message. I hear all I need is within me. I'm breathing with my heartbeat, standing on my 2 feet, singing. All I need is within me. I'm living in the love. It's giving me all I need. Hey, hey, yeah. 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 When I rush and I run and it's never enough, I'm left feeling empty. Well, I know I need to listen to the voice of love, telling me to believe that all I need is within me. I'm breathing with my heartbeat, standing on my 2 feet, singing. All I need is within me. I'm living in the love. It's giving me all I need. Hey, hey, yeah. All I need. Hey, hey, yeah. All I need. Hey, yeah. All I need. Hey, hey, yeah. Well, I believe that I will receive all I need. Yes, I believe that I will receive all I need, because all I need is within me. I'm breathing with my heartbeat, standing on my 2 feet, singing. All I need is within me. I'm living in the love. It's giving me all I need. Hey, hey, yeah. All I need. Hey, hey, yeah. All I need. Yes, yes, yes. May we all have what we need. And most importantly, may we all know that we have the power to choose the thoughts and the feelings and the perspectives and the relationship to ourself that creates the reality that we really want. And may everyone know that that is in their power. And may we be these shining beacons of light and hope in the people that are in our lives, for the people in our lives, and spread that joy and spread that possibility to everyone we know. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming and dancing and smiling and living.
Oh, Theo, that was so beautiful. I'm going to bring in Paulette. I'm going to bring you back on again. Wow, that was so good, you guys. So nice, everybody that came today. I loved being on a meeting line where we could actually see your faces and be together in this really important cultivation of our natural state of coherence and joy, especially when we need it most. And I want to take a minute, Kaylin, if you could bring up Paulette's website, just so we can see how we can stay in touch with Paulette more. She's actually doing quite a few offerings that, if you want a little bit more of that deep dropping in. Paulette, do you want to share a little bit about your Touching the Stillness ministries and what you're offering on a regular basis to support us to have our joy?
Thank you. Um, yes, I this is my website, but this is the calendar page. So I just wanted to bring this up so you can see that we do a bi-monthly meditation on Zoom. So every second Tuesday at 1 o'clock Central Time. And then every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Central Time, I do a meditation also called the Breathing Space on Insight Timer. And that one is about creating the space for noble silence. So the same intention as we had today, in a way, where we're uplifting humanity, our dedication, coming together to share that time with each other as meditators, but to dedicate it to humanity with noble silence. And then as you play around in the website, you'll see that I have videos and resources for meditation and affirmation. And then I also have a YouTube channel that has meditations and brief affirmations on it as well. Okay.
Thank you, Paulette. There's such beautiful things. So touchingthestillness.org, we'll put the link in the chat. And Theo, you're creating a new album. Do you want to bring up? We would love to support you in the creation of your new album. So please share with us. Yeah.
So, where are we? Here. Okay. So, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so this is my Patreon page. And usually I just play songs with me and my guitar, but today I did something different with the backtracks to give people more of a sense of what's going to be on my album. And I'm doing sort of a fundraiser through my Patreon page. And if for the people who donate $10 a month or more, I'm just going to send them the album as soon as I have it ready. And it's actually going to be early to everyone who's on my Patreon page. And even if it's $1 a month, that's super helpful. And I do music lessons as well, if you wanted to book that for yourself or a loved one. I love doing voice lessons or guitar or music production and all kinds of things. But specifically, I'm trying to raise funds for my new album, which is so close to being done. And I'm really excited. I've been working on it for a long time. So any support with that would be much appreciated. And thanks for coming and just lending your ears and showing up.
I think it's so. Let's put that link in the chat for everybody. It's so important that we support our artists and also our ministry. Paulette, you can stop sharing your screen there, Theo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Paulette,
where's that?
I give to Paulette's ministry every month. As I said, I've been super inspired by Paulette and the different ways that she's shown up in organizations and meetings holding the space. And so I support her every month, and also Theo. And I decided today, because I've been thinking about this, like the more that we really focus on where are we putting our attention and our energy right now, and is it in the things that are actually helping us to cultivate greater coherence or greater joy or capacity to move through things. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to look at all the things that I am giving automatic payments to, because I think there's some that I don't even remember that I'm doing. And I'm going to remove all of the ones that I'm really not using or that are just distracting me in ways that I really don't want to be distracted. And I'm going to start to consciously choose to support the things and the people and the organizations that I know are doing the things in the world that I can't do, but I really want to have happening. And I really want to challenge us all to actually really consider the energy that's flowing through your life. Is it seeding the world in which you know is emerging from all of our hearts and that you want to see radiating on this planet? So let's do that. And let's start with Theo and let's start with Paulette, because really they're bringing so much joy and so much love to the planet. Yes. And we just have...
What might happen if all the beings in all the worlds were free from suffering and without desire, and burst into unstoppable joy? I wonder what might happen if all the stars and all the skies were strung together with a common thread and shone together with a common light, the light of love. I am that I am, I am alive, unstoppable love. I am that I am, I am the light, unfadable light. I am that I am, that I am joy, unstoppable joy. I am that I am, that I am, that I am, unstoppable joy. I wonder what might happen if all the eyes began to see the mystery of love unfolding in the perfection of you and me. I wonder what might happen if all the hearts that felt the pulse would dance together to the rhythm of one song and sing united as one voice, the voice of love. I am that I am, that I am love, unstoppable love. I am that I am, that I am light, unfadable light. I am that I am, that I am joy, unstoppable
unstoppable.
Joy, 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 unstoppable joy. I am love. I am